The alarm sounds, and your body feels heavy before the day even begins. Plans seem simple on paper, but starting them feels like pushing through wet concrete. Low mood grows as stress, attention, and habit circuits reinforce each other continuously. Small actions can shift those circuits because the brain changes with repeated signals and routines. When worry rises, the threat system stays active, making rest, focus, and connection harder. That cascade can make ordinary tasks feel pointless, reducing motivation for helpful choices. Imagine skipping movement, staying indoors, and avoiding friends because everything feels like too much effort. Then sleep becomes shallow and short, leaving less capacity for the next day and the next choice. In the next minutes, you will learn practical ways to nudge brain circuits toward energy, calm, and hope. This video is inspired by The Upward Spiral by Korb, and subscribe to learn practical brain steps that lift mood. Depression involves a network where stress regulation, fear signals, memory, and attention continuously shape each other. The hypothalamus drives stress hormones, the amygdala flags danger, and the cingulate steers what attention sticks to. When attention locks on problems, the amygdala gets more reasons to stay reactive, and anxiety becomes more likely. This pattern also narrows perception, so neutral events can feel negative, and effort can feel pointless quickly. Imagine seeing a tired coworker and assuming rejection, then withdrawing before any real evidence appears. That withdrawal reduces social input and reinforces the brain's expectation that the world is unsafe and empty. Breaking the loop starts with noticing what attention selected and reminding yourself that focus is a choice. Each small shift toward present details gives the prefrontal cortex more material to calm the threat response. Name one concrete task and one helpful person you can contact. Then treat those as your immediate map. Repeat that practice daily so attention supports recovery instead of feeding worry and negativity. Exercise changes brain chemistry by increasing growth factors and by influencing serotonin, dopamine, and stress responses. Those chemical shifts make the brain more resilient, which lowers the chance that low mood snowballs into paralysis. Movement also improves sleep, and better sleep reduces pain and raises energy, making movement easier again. This upward spiral happens because each benefit increases the likelihood of the next helpful behavior. Picture a remote worker who stopped commuting, sat on a couch and developed hip and back pain. After short walks become routine, appetite, enjoyment and motivation return because multiple circuits start shifting. This matters because exercise brings the body into the world and weakens isolation, which often sustains depression. It also creates conditions for new growth, but it works through repetition and patience rather than one workout. Start with any movement that feels possible, even a brief walk, and treat it as a daily experiment. Connect that movement to a personal value so discomfort feels meaningful and the habit becomes easier to keep. Goals work because dopamine supports motivation, and dopamine rises not only at success, but also during progress steps. Choosing an achievable target focuses the brain, making effort feel purposeful rather than scattered across options. Decisions also reduce mental looping by narrowing the number of possibilities, which lessens the prefrontal cortex's need for optimization. With fewer variables, anxiety decreases, allowing the brain to devote resources to action rather than constant prediction. Imagine two climbers in a storm, one injured, facing a descent where waiting could be fatal. They survive by making decisions repeatedly, even imperfect ones, because motion creates information and reduces panic. Daily life works similarly when low mood blocks action and every option feels risky or overwhelming. A small decision, like sending one email or taking one walk, can start revealing the next workable step. Write a clear goal for this week and break it into steps small enough to finish today. Subscribe for more decision tools that reduce worry and make goals easier to follow through consistently. Poor sleep is both a symptom and a driver of depression, as low-quality rest worsens mood and concentration. Sleep progresses through stages, and depression often increases REM while reducing slow-wave sleep, which restores the brain. When sleep feels unrefreshing, distress rises and people may believe they were awake even after light sleep began. That frustration adds stress, and higher stress keeps the body vigilant, further disrupting the ability to fall asleep. Imagine a student working a 3:30 a.m. shift, getting 6 hours, and noticing irritability and low energy. Day after day, that schedule chips away at resilience, making exercise, decisions, and gratitude harder to access. Improving sleep supports the same circuits that lower anxiety, as a calmer amygdala allows for deeper rest. Better rest also increases alertness and reduces pain, making it more likely that movement and social contact occur. Choose one consistent bedtime window, reduce late stimulation, and keep the bedroom for sleep rather than worry. If you wake up, notice the urge to track time and return your attention to breathing until sleep resumes. Gratitude shifts our focus to the present, countering negativity by interrupting habitual threat scanning. Feeling grateful activates dopamine-producing regions, making social interactions more rewarding and easier to seek. Gratitude strengthens social support, which in turn lowers stress hormones before challenges like public speaking. A calmer stress response protects memory and learning, helping new habits stick during recovery. Imagine someone choosing to study in a lounge near others without forcing conversation, preventing deeper withdrawal and reducing the risk of a downward spiral. Simple exposure to social settings can prevent isolation and reduce the chance of sliding further into loneliness. Support can also be physical, as touch and care activate oxytocin-related pathways that calm reactivity. Acts like talking with a friend, volunteering, or getting a massage can lift mood by shifting several systems together. Write down 3 specific things you appreciate each day, including one about someone who helped you. Schedule one small social contact this week and treat it as a brain training step, not a personality test. Recovery becomes easier when depression is seen as an interaction between brain circuits rather than a personal failure or a mystery. Small actions matter because each one changes what the brain expects and practices next. Exercise boosts growth factors and serotonin activity, and decisions focus dopamine and reduce mental looping. Better sleep restores energy and steadies mood, while gratitude and support shift attention away from constant threat scanning. Together, these steps create upward momentum, where motivation returns and isolation decreases without waiting for perfect conditions. Progress then becomes more visible, as each day contains at least one step that reinforces the next one. Start with one change that is realistic today, such as a short walk, a clear goal, or a fixed bedtime. Track what improves, even slightly, because noticing gains trains attention and reduces the pull of negativity. Keep building the spiral patiently, as repeated practice is what rewires patterns and restores flexibility. If these tools feel useful, subscribe for more neuroscience-grounded steps that turn small actions into lasting change.